that's too sterile and that is too,
Okay, say it again so I get it. I want to make sure I got it.
okay, instead of two people, Am sees two silhouettes, right?
Yeah.
What I see in my mind is a multitude of people crossing the beach towards the water and the sun and the heart. And they're not black. There's a mix of shades of. They're not distinct. There's a mix of shades of gray moving up to black as they hit the beach. And the two images that Will just drawn, where they just throw their hands up, right, an obvious male and female. There's something. When we're talking about evolution, I see people on a march towards that particular point of evolution where you're embracing the sun and you're embracing the sky and you're embracing, everything that's going on. And the image as it stands right now, there's too much definition and color and not enough evoking an emotional response to the image. So I don't. Am wants a man and a woman. I'm starting to think that maybe we should have a multitude of people, small, moving across the beach until we get to these people who are at the beach in front of the sun and the heart, raising their arms and taking it all in. The image that, and the more Am likes what Will does, the less I like it. I'm sorry. And and I'll be honest with you, in the long run, if we choose an image that completely horrifies me, but you guys are happy with, it's okay. I can live with that. I'm not going to put stops on something because I'm the odd man out. I'm not.
No, okay, well, but I want you to realize just how important your vision is, because it's all, and yes, you're correct. Are we collaging our own? I brought my teardrop with the spiral and the rainbow. I mean, that's just one of the images that I want to incorporate, but it doesn't have to be this particular one. What you said made me think of something here, and I'd like to run something by you. Isn't it also possible to consider, because your vision of having a group involved with the image, that one person represents many, just like with the two people standing aside, rather than facing away from each other, there's a unified place. So would it then be conceivable that, and this is all new, right? But just think of this, is that the river that leads to the ocean, you talked about a beach, but I was thinking that there'd be a river flowing into the ocean to represent all those people, and that the image of the ocean changes its color as it leads up to the sky or the space, right? With the heart being the focus, surrounded by the sun. Now, I'm talking about an image that moves, right? You were looking at the ones that I had for my father and how there were static images and images with movement, right? Well, right. What I'm suggesting is that the moving into the heart, as in other words, the two people represent many people by the direction of the way that the river flows, of the river from the heart to the image of the sky or the background of the of space, with the center of the sun, this beating heart. What do you think of that?
I like what you're describing in terms of a river and a blend, because in my mind's eye, as the river flowed into the ocean, just like with your teardrop, there were subtle colors. I see the ocean moving like a big wave, and then from the wave, a continuation of colors up to the sun and heart, and a splash. I don't know how else to describe it. I can see it in my mind. I am not an artist.
No, and Anne made that point too tonight, is that he hadn't developed the skill, but he's going to send an image to Will that's handwritten that describes a little of his place. What I'm going to do, and I'm going to stop this recording here, and unless you have something more to add. Did you have something more to add? Because I want Will to hear this recording, because I made a 5-minute recording of what we wanted part of the image so that he sees that. And I'm going to show him this.
Right. And Am is working on, Am has tied Will to certain conditions of the image, such as
Yes.
black silhouettes.
Which you need to have.
Male and female. He's tied Will to certain elements that don't enable Will to draw, let's just say, a much more abstract symbol of what we're doing. So, Dean, what you just said, flowing water into the ocean, and the water somehow flowing up, whether it's through rainbow elements, and I don't mean rainbow in terms of the picture that you have there, that doesn't work for me.
No, but that's okay. But I'm saying is that what I'm suggesting is that the spiral comes from the inside of those two images, the male and female image, and
Right.
And the spiral goes down as a river flows into the ocean, and the ocean turns into the sky, and the sky is back. The background of the sky is there with the center of the image of the sun, and the heart is in the center of the sun. That's what I'm talking about there.
Right. No. And thank you. That's a really, this little piece of that painting you have there is pretty darn dramatic. It's
the teardrop.
Because first of all, it's not just a teardrop. It's the whole idea of fluidity. It's the whole. It basically already speaks to a very fluid and non-material representation of imagery. I get that.
Then let me just stop the recording so that I share this with Am and Will, so that this is a contribution. Am couldn't be here for this part of our discussion, so I'm sending it to him with so that on Sunday, if we can bring Will in, that we go over all this so that it's there.
Right, and basically when we send it to Am, hello Am, I love you. You know I love you.
We both love you.
Am has basically issued directives towards particular images that we may need to be more flexible about those. I
like your idea about simplifying and not so many colors. That makes sense to me.
And I don't like that black, those silhouette. There's got to be a way to represent male and female, other than what Will has come up with so far. And there has to be the image has to blend. Right now, it's just too black on green, on blue, on yellow, on red. The colors are very, very. It's childish. It's like a coloring book.
No, and that's exactly the point. Is that we needed to see that to see how it would, look to our
right. And Will has done. I think Will is incredibly responsive.
He's listening, and so Will, you're going to see this here. So let me stop the recording so we can move on to other stuff. But is that enough? I mean, did you want to add anything else?
No, other than, well, I hope I didn't offend you in any way whatsoever. I'm so sorry.
No, this is it's a collaboration, but we have to recognize, from our different points of view, we all have different, preferences. But I think this is the whole point. This image itself is a direct representation of our evolution, because we are together collaborating to make an image that is not just one, but all of us. And as it comes together with the artist or the one putting these pieces together, makes it's I'm enjoying the process. And part of, I think, one of the things that we could bring up in our discussions is we might want to include as what represents this show is very much described in the image, and how we were able to describe what we wanted to say in this image. So anyway, it's kind of the fun building process, the artistic process of our own ways that we can work it together, because we all have our own talents, right? We have our own.
Right, and I was distressed because Will responded to something Am said, drew a heart around the scene and thought it was an improvement, and I almost cried.
No,
So
that's exactly the point. Is that we'll do this and see if we can get anywhere with this. This is 10 minutes, okay? So I'm going to stop it now, and then we'll talk on Sunday, and then figure and see what we've been able to come up with. Will's
okay.
come up with.
Let me ask you a quick question before we depart. You can stop the recording now.
Okay.